To put together a digital festival required a hard pivot into a space that was unfamiliar to MIFF in many ways. Time was against us. We had to put aside everything we had done for our in-cinema delivery for MIFF and start again from the ground up in April. From a completely blank canvas in terms of the program, reorient our partner offerings, reconsider marketing strategy and approach, and work to deliver a digital festival with markedly different budgets and resources. We also had to develop the digital platform at the same time as programming the festival, which is a bit like building the cinema at the same time as you're curating. The online space is one in which there is a huge amount of complication, and MIFF as a festival exists in an international ecosystem where the effects of COVID are really severe in the paths that film may normally take around the festival circuit. So every film placed in MIFF 68.5 was a specific conversation with a very specific sense of sensitivities for each films, and patience and persistence were often required. Elsewhere, we had to break new ground, establish precedent, and find new ways of doing things. For instance, working with the classification board and establishing a path to receiving our festival exemption online for the first time, meaning that we can still legally screen films that don't have Australian classification in a streaming capacity. What we ultimately hoped to do with MIFF this year was to meet audiences where they are, and at the end of the day we wanted to do something that was true to the personality of MIFF's programming, as well as audience expectations from it, despite the circumstances. And I'm proud with where we've got to in the delivery of MIFF 68.5 as a team. The digital format definitely played a part in considering which films were selected and which might be interesting placements specifically this year. For instance, we've got a couple of multi-episode, long-form offerings in the program that I draw people's attention to, that I think work in a particular way this year outside of cinemas. Steve James's 4-part, near 4-hour City So Real, a look at the recent Chicago mayoral election that is also an epic portrait of a city from elites to the most marginalized voices, as well as Mark Cousins' multi-part Women Make Film, a new road trip through cinema, which runs for 14 hours. These kinds of things are cinephile catnip, and they're just made for binge formatting straight to your lounge room. So the digital format offers specific possibility there in the way people can choose to engage with them. There have been some interesting benefits and opportunities to running MIFF online. We really wanted to flip the way we thought about things and wanted to lean into what we saw as the positive opportunity that a digital festival provided. What artists and filmmakers can we connect to and engage with that would be incredibly difficult in a regular year to have them get on a plane and fly 30 hours to Melbourne in the dead of winter. So we're able to present virtual guests that we're really thrilled about. Q&As with amazing filmmakers such as Kelly Reichardt, Pablo Larraín, Ben Zeitlin, Aubrey Plaza, Steve James, many others. Another positive has been the groundswell support we've seen from a number of individuals. Philanthropy, micro-donations, we're extremely grateful for the generosity of many who have wanted to help and support the festival during this time. We also view the digital platform itself as an investment. MIFF's heart is in the cinemas. We'll be back there as soon as we can be safely. But the platform provides some really interesting possibilities to keep connecting with audiences through all of this now. For instance, we're running our MIFF Schools program in September from our platform, making that program free for schools across Australia. Which lastly just brings me to the point that we're also thrilled to be able to take MIFF nationally for the first time ever. We welcome everyone around Australia to the Melbourne International Film Festival in 2020. And that's something unique and special in the middle of difficult times that this platform allows. It's not a platitude to say that Melburnians have a special connection to MIFF. It's something that we see in no uncertain terms every year. Those that take 3 weeks off work, make MIFF their annual holiday, those who see 80 to 90 films, those who've been going to the festival for decades, have grown up with it and for whom it sparked a lifelong love of cinema. Those who have given their time volunteering with us time and time again. MIFF is one of the most storied, one of the longest running film festivals outside of Europe. It's part of the cultural fabric of the city around it in a way few festivals are. We know what the loss of MIFF in cinemas means to our audiences this year, and we're really gladdened to see the curiosity and the enthusiasm to which they have approached MIFF 68.5. We may not be together in the same way, but this year it is a radical, wonderful thing to say that everyone can return to MIFF once more.